Welcome to Matters of Decorum. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me. It is the holiday season. Merry Christmas, if that is what you celebrate. We've just had Thanksgiving. And I'd like to talk to you about traditions. A tradition that I used to participate in and still do to some degree. If you are part of a regular gaming group, role-playing or board games or what have you, you should probably also have a tradition like this. You may already. I'm referring to gamers' holiday of choice. Gamers' Thanksgiving, gamers' Christmas, what have you. There are two things that those people at the table with you kind of are. They ought to be your friends. You can game with people who aren't your friends, but if you're gaming with people that you don't like, you probably need to find a different group. And if you were not friends when you came to that table, after a while, you probably are. In your traditional role-playing game, though what is happening at that table is imaginary, it is still a shared experience. It's a shared imaginary experience. You're sharing a story. But you've had characters that have relied on these people's characters for survival or support. Someone's playing the healer, and someone is protecting the healer from damage while waiting for the healer to hurry up and throw some heals. Some of the stories I have told are based on things happening in game that have left lasting impressions on the people that were part of those events. You make yourself a little bit vulnerable when you sit down at that table with those dice and those characters. You open up. This is my imagination. This is how I picture an imaginary person operating. This is their thoughts and their dreams. And you may be putting a bit of yourself into it. You may not. All depends on your style of play, but you are opening up. Good for you. And so are the other people at that table, and those are bonds that are formed. I don't know what your weekly session is like. Maybe someone orders pizza, maybe everyone pitches in, maybe you sponge off of the random crumbs found on the couch of the host. That was a bad summer. This is a time of year to appreciate one another. I said there are two things those people at the table with you probably are. Friends is one. Now, the way I was raised, and this is me, I get it, this is subjective, but you're watching my video. My friends, my good friends, are indistinguishable from family. The people who gamed with me when I was growing up in that basement in St. Louis, well, gamed with me in the basement. I grew up in the whole house, technically. My parents welcomed them into our home, fed them. If they got too tired or had other conditions that made driving or travel unsafe, they had a place to stay. While they were under our roof, they were treated like family. The people I game with these days are so close to family to me that the distinction doesn't really matter. Some have actually turned out to be family. Al Stafford, the player of one Archer Dammit Barrington, turns out to be a cousin. Found it out long after we started gaming together, but Yeah, from when the Corum family diverged in Missouri. He's from the other branch. Distant cousin, but we share blood. Besides that, those are people who jump up when we need help. Someone in that group has a need or something. If there is no other assistance, there is sympathy. Often there is empathy. There is a drive someplace when you need a drive, or a shoulder when you need one to rest on, or an ear when you need to be heard. That's my family. True story. Gaming group I had, God, 20 years ago. Um, I was with my friend Brian, rest his soul, and his buddy Paul, and a couple other guys. We're out in Lakewood, gaming at Paul's garage, and I get a phone call from Anna that, well, there's a problem, and someone may have threatened her through her work. She was managing apartments and being the office manager, the same job she is now, just 20 years ago. And well, it wasn't anything that ultimately could get acted on legally, but it was a threat. Someone had attempted to make her feel unsafe. She just needed me to know about it in case anything happened. I got up, I was ready to go home. I was on my way. Every other guy in that garage got up too. And gamers in our 20s and 30s, and some of them with more firepower than most people probably should have had at that age. And there were people informing me that they'd be along shortly. They had to go home and get something. Paul stood up and grabbed a softball bat, and Brian put a hand on Paul's shoulder and says, Paul, you can't do that with your back. You're going to hurt yourself. Give it to me. I'll hit him twice. If I had no choice but to get in some kind of gang fight, I'll take any group I have ever been with and have them at my back. We might get our ass kicked, but I'll take that group at my back. You know what? Nah. 9 times out of 10, I'd actually put the odds in our favor, because we might be at this point old and broken and kind of weak, but we're super wily. There's a reason we're still this old. I hope, for your sake, if you have a gaming group that you have been with for any length of time, that you either now or will eventually see them as family. It hurts when someone moves away or has an incident and can no longer be with you. I mentioned Brian, and he left us in 2000, 2001, the year The Matrix came out, the day The Matrix came out. And his absence is still felt every day. I mentioned Al, Josh, great guy. The foundation upon which some of the groups were laid, because steadfast, steady as a rock, hard worker, friendly, gentle, can throw a dude like 5 feet randomly if he needs to. Mikey, I miss Mikey. He moved away some time ago, but no way to replace the inspiration and humor that he brings to a game. Mandy, she moved up north. Devin and I are actually shooting up there next weekend to pick her up and bring her back for a month because she needs her South Bay time away from Sacramento with her daughter's effort. Mandy is a friend from a long back, and yes, from games, and we worked together for a while, and her daughter has me wrapped around her little finger. She had a problem feeding when she was born, so she had a feeding tube about the same time that I had mine, so we're feeding tube buddies. Devin, though she's not as much of a gamer as the rest, her presence is absolutely necessary at the games that she is at. She has an incredible sense of hospitality to make sure that we're all fed and that we all clean up after ourselves because, damn it, we're gamers and we're mostly messy. Newer members, Max, I have family. My son is a part of a gaming group or two that I'm in and contributes to that. Wayne, oh my God. Andrew's Uncle Wayne, a man I'm super lucky to know and that I would take a bullet for if I had to. Manhattan Beach Group, Mike Shields, amazing game master, just a tremendous guy, works way too hard, and just super creative. Ross, oh my God, I miss Ross. Ross moved up north to Portland, and he Skypes in or gets in Google Hangouts with us when we play. He's got really bad internet, so the connectivity is weird and it's hard, but we go to the effort because it's Ross, and you can't not have that gung-ho, super creative, really energetic person in your game. Finn, geez, God. Finn just brings this wealth of military knowledge from his experience having been in the military and life knowledge. And the man showed up at game sessions with absinthe tastings. Seriously, like 4 or 5 bottles of absinthe and the Lushing the Lushing pitcher and the spoons and the sugar cubes, and I'd had absinthe before, but like one variety, and Finn opened my eyes to just all these different ways that I can never really indulge in because abstinence is really, whew. True story. Absinthe is how I eventually understood the end of the Disney movie The Black Hole. If you haven't seen it, watch it and you'll understand that. Brian, oh God. Brian is an amazing individual who has been through more stuff than most people I can think of, and still comes with this bright, cheery attitude and this voice and energy and vigor every single session. Dave, oh, Dave is one of my oldest gaming buddies. I met him at a convention when he sat down at a table I was running at Open Gaming and has been around ever since. Vic is in the Manhattan Beach group and in the Wednesday night group. And man, Vic is my brother from another mother, my writing partner and half of my creative brain. There have been so many people through the years, I mean, the Manhattan Beach group. Jacob and Cameron, the brothers, who showed up at a table I was running demonstration games at Emerald Knights when they were high school students, and they brought their friends. Sharon and Rachel and Jeremy, and that's where Max first came in. Yeah, Max was a little bit later, but he was along not terribly after that as through that group. Nick, Sean, and that group, I ran with them for years still. Oh, it's been a little while. Lindsay has been joined into that group and attached to Jacob at the hip, and talent and artistry and drive and youthful vigor, and not just that, but I get to see these kids go from high school students to college students and young professionals. Liam was the goofball who wanted to run a guy wearing a fedora in a fantasy game, and now through the Merchant Marines, and an engineer. I'm so proud of him. Family. I feel amazingly fortunate that I have this tremendous extended family through my games, that I have had the privilege of my time with them. I join in games at the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society when I can. They run games every quarter or so. The last one took 2 sessions because, well, character generation was part of the first one. Gina just having joined the group and has started coming over on Wednesday nights, and this Lovecraft knowledge and desire to be there and to help out and to make sure that everyone's comfortable and taken care of. So, gamer holiday, gamer Thanksgiving, gamer Christmas. It is not like your holiday with the rest of your family. It is not sitting around the turkey or the ham with the people that you have blood in common with. Those are wonderful. That was Thanksgiving Day for us. Both my mom and my mother-in-law are widowers, and my wife invited them both over, and they came to our apartment, and we had a wonderful meal, and they had a chance to talk with each other, which happens about once a year. And then my brother finally got all of the kids together in the house at the same time, with possible exception of Jennifer, who lives in Portland now. But those are wonderful times, and some people don't have the best experience with their actual blood families at these times. I do. I'm very fortunate. I'm blessed with a very good family. But then you have this other celebration. The celebration of people that you have fought monsters with, that you have spent time and associated by choice with. The people that you would choose to have at your back in a bar fight. And maybe it's not turkey or ham, because by then you're sick of turkey or ham. Maybe it's pizza, maybe it's meatloaf, maybe a potluck is a really good way to do it. Most of the people I know are interested in food one way, shape, or form, go figure, and are good at it, at that. Devin makes the most incredible cookies. She's good at everything she puts her hands on. Do not mistake me, but her cookies and her cheesecakes. I'm going to have to see if she would be interested in making cheesecake cookies. Note for later. Your gamer holiday is a celebration. A celebration that you have this privilege of choosing your extended family and the ability to cherish them while they're here. If you haven't lost any of your gamer friends, any of those people in that circle, oh, God bless you. That day will happen, one reason or another. Take it from someone who has been there a few times. Cherish those people now. Take a day out from the game. Go see a movie. Go walk around the mall. Do something. Play frisbee. Go bowling. Have a gamer's holiday. Play something different. Pull out a card game. I recommend Cards Against Humanity or Joking Hazard, depending on if you have a group that can handle that kind of stuff. Munchkin's good too. Do something not because you're there to gain levels or build up experience or you want to progress a storyline. Do something because those people are a privilege to know, and make sure they know it. Okay, this was kind of an excuse for me just to name a whole bunch of people whose lives make my life more complete and more bearable. I love you all, and thank you all for being a part of my life. But I'm serious. If you're not following me on Facebook, I share a lot of recipes, and at some point Uncle Drac is going to be doing some recipes right here on this channel. So keep an eye on that, because they're mostly going to be good ideas for things you could do for a gamer's holiday. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Feedback is feedback. If you would like to share your game group or celebrations you've had with them, or your thoughts on extended family, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment about things you want me to talk about, or suggestions, or random questions. I love getting comments. You love leaving me a comment. If you'd like to see these videos when they come out, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, why not? Hit the notification bell too, so that you actually get the notification when my videos come out. If you'd like to support the channel in some way, I invite you to hit me up at my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/ScottCorum, and consider donating. Absolutely anything helps and allows me to make better videos more often. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Happy holidays. Whatever holidays you celebrate. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me, and I'll see you next time with the next Matters of Decorum.